Good evening, Parkland. I'm Ken Carpinetti, this year's Digital Media Director of Parkland TV. Today is Friday, November 5th, and you're watching episode 2 of Parkland Profile. First up, news correspondent Luis Sanchez and the Trumpet's Daniel Franzone interview Parkland alum Andre Williams as he moves away from Major League Football and into the world of fashion.
My name is Andre Williams, owner at All Weather Selvage Denim Company, and you're watching Parkland TV. Well, I chose the promenade because I think it was just the providence. I wasn't looking at the promenade at first. I was really thinking about just doing a pop-up, just a short-term thing, I was in the process of making content at the time, and I'm like, all right, I'm bringing all this content, but now people need a place to come and actually see and feel the product. And so I said, let me look for a physical location. And I was really looking at the mall. I started talking with them. They said that product that you have, Selvage Denim, it might do better in King of Prussia. So I said, okay, so, let me see the proposals. But while I was waiting for that from them, like I said, I was doing content around the Lehigh Valley. The whole point was local faces, local places. I forget which picture. Oh, these pictures right here are actually at the promenade, at the lake. And so when I posted them, the promenade, they liked the picture. Okay. And so we started a dialogue that way. And, they were really quick on their feet with me sitting down with the general manager, Melissa Napolitano, and really talking about what was available and what I wanted to do. So they just got right to it, and I just felt like that it was very easy for us to talk business. So I like dealing with the people here. People build companies, people destroy companies, and if you don't have the right people, even if you have great product, it won't work. So I just enjoyed, the energy felt right here. Yeah. Well, I actually started with clothing with the shoes, the Running Man. That's this shoe right here. And when I was playing ball in New York, I had a marketing agent, and he introduced me to this guy, Eamon, who was starting a shoe company called One Ground. And the idea was, you're starting out, I'm a running back in the league, and you extend your creative faculties to me so that I could make a product, and we could run together. And this was what I ended up with. It's a ultra low top leather loafer, Spanish handcraft, and it's genuine leather. So they're really nice shoes. I took inspiration from Vans and PF Flyers and Chuck Taylors, but just wanted to make something a little bit more of higher quality. And that ended up impressing somebody that was helping me and a couple other guys put together a project for New York Fashion Week. And long story short, I met a brand developer, and we just had this crazy conversation, this 3-hour conversation, and the amount of information that I got in that one conversation was about $40,000, $50,000 worth of information that I paid for to make that shoe. So when somebody gives you that kind of information for free, he automatically qualifies himself, and now it gets ideas going, like, wow, what's possible knowing somebody like that, And shoe is cool, but I can wear anybody's shoes. I can't wear anybody's jeans,
Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier, like, playing in New York.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like playing in you?
Oh man, it was really cool because I actually grew up in Jersey, so it just felt right coming back home, especially on draft day. I got drafted in the 4th round, so I think that was the 3rd day. Coach Coughlin called my phone. He was like, "Hey, Dre, this is Tom Coughlin from the New York Football Giants. Are you ready to play football?" I'm like, "Yes, sir. I'm ready. And then they came and picked me up and drove me to the hotel they were keeping all the rookies at. And I ended up, it was me and Odell, we were roomed together for that whole rookie experience. So, you know, it was definitely something that you can't buy those kind of experiences. And that's part of, you know, those things that I went through early on in my early 20s that, you know, brought me here. I just was in a special place and was able to capitalize on some opportunities that came by.
Where can people buy your jeans? Like besides in store, like is there an online store like that they can buy?
Yeah, I started online. So the website, it's www.donandswagger.com. DONANDSWAGGER. Donandswagger.com. And there will probably be an AW Selvage website coming as well, but for now, that's our platform.
Thanks, Lewis. We here at Parkland TV are excited to give you a look inside of the WFMZ headquarters, thanks to news correspondent Luca Pettin. Let's see what a day in the life at WFMZ looks like.
Hello, my name is Luca Pettin. I will be your news correspondent for this episode of Parkland Profile. On this episode, I will be explaining what a floor director does and just some of the behind the scenes here at WFMZ TV, otherwise known as 69 News. I'll be taking you from the 4 o'clock show through the 5 o'clock show setup. To start, a floor director does all of the pre-show setup. This includes ensuring all the mics are charging properly, turning off the workout lights and bringing up the main studio lights, and they must bring out chairs. Each anchor has a preference of which chair they like. Some prefer no chair at all. After that, the floor director has to turn on the storyteller, which is just a big touch screen that the anchors do segments from.
Had a whale of a tale to tell.
Next, he or she must rotate the center TV to the horizontal position. In the rundown, this is indicated as PH2. Lastly, he or she must bring out the correct laptops depending on who the anchor is. That would be all of your pre-show setup work. At the start of the show, we do teases at the video wall. Teases are just headlines about what is coming up later in the show, and the video wall is just a wall with a bunch of TVs put together. Because the anchors aren't by the desk with the foot pedals, the floor director must run the prompter after counting them in.
3, 2, 1.
Coming up today on 69 News at 4, a police chase in the Poconos turns into an hours-long standoff.
After teases, we have the show open.
Your life, your world, your news. This is 69 News, live at 4.
Once the open rolls, the anchors move back to the desk and get ready for the main news. During the news, it is the floor director's job to inform the anchors which camera to look at and when to go. At WFMZ, we put our hand up to signal standby, and then when we bring our hand down is when the anchors start reading. At the end of the 4 and 4:30 shows, the anchors move over to the couch for their goodbyes. For the couch segment, what they say is not scripted, so the floor director does not have to run prompter.
I think that's cute. I wouldn't want to win Oldie of the Year either.
I think old should be celebrated.
If there is a guest, the floor director should mic the guest up 2 breaks before the segment. After the 4:30 show, Jim and Melanie leave and Rob and Wendy set up. In the break between the 4:30 and 5 o'clock show, the floor director must move the chairs out and set up a platform and 2 standing chairs, all before the 5 o'clock show starts. At the start of the show, we have a cold open, which is a story right out of the beginning. That's what happens between the 4 o'clock and the 5 o'clock show. Then they continue working from 5 o'clock through 7 o'clock, and then again from 9:30 to 11. And this is Luca Pettin, your news correspondent from Parkland TV and Film.
Thanks, Luca. News correspondent Hannah Frederich brings us an interview with foreign exchange student Matej Pincus.
I'm news correspondent Hannah Frederich, and recently I had the opportunity to sit down with Matej Pincus, a foreign exchange student for the 2021-2022 school year, to ask him questions about his experiences thus far living in the United States, and specifically our community here in Parkland. So, what's your name and what country and city are you from?
My name is Matej. I'm from Czech Republic, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm a junior at Parkland.
So what made you want to be a foreign exchange student and come live here?
My mom, when she was like my age, 25 years ago, she went to Seattle like an exchange student, and she wanted me to get the same experience. So I went to here to America. Yeah.
How long are you staying? Like when will
I'm
you?
staying for the school year, and then maybe like for a few more weeks after that to maybe visit my uncle in Colorado with his family, or my dad is gonna visit Pennsylvania with his quartet in March, so I'm gonna see some family member in the school year, so that's like really nice. And yeah.
So on that note, what are some of the like first differences that you have seen, or what you have seen so far, and as differences between the different schooling systems?
My school is like in Czech Republic is a music school, and it's a really small school. So this is like there's 20 times more students at this school, so that's like a huge change for me, and it's kind of hard to adjust. And yeah, like it's sometimes it's hard to find the classroom or stuff like that. So yeah.
So you said you go to a music school. If you want to elaborate a little bit on that, like is music your favorite thing?
I play piano. I played violin for 5 years, and I played piano for 10 years, and it's one of my like modern hobbies. It's like I spend a lot of time with piano, and I've participated in many piano competitions and stuff. So yeah.
So what, besides piano and obviously music, what are some of your other hobbies that you like to do in your home country?
When I'm in Czech Republic, my school is really like we have to be there 10, 12 hours a day. So I don't really have time for anything else, but when I have time, I like to play soccer or basketball with friends.
So you said that you are there like 10 to 12 hours a day. What other are some of the major differences that you have noticed?
Here in America, the schedule is every day pretty the same. I have like 17 subjects in Czech Republic, or 19 subjects, and piano like with my teacher 2 times a week. So I have most of the classes like 2 to 3 times a week, but sometimes we start at 1 p.m. and end at 6. Sometimes we start at 8 and end at 6. And I have the piano in the mornings, so it's very variable.
Obviously not on a school note, but on just like a culture of living in the United States. What has been the biggest culture shock, I guess is the way to put it, and biggest difference?
I live in Prague, so we have like public transport everywhere. It's everywhere kind of close from my house. And here in America, like I have to get everywhere by a car, and everything's so much like bigger houses, roads, schools, shops, even the like groceries. I was surprised with the size of things in different stores. Yeah.
So you've mentioned some of the changes. What would you say has been like the hardest adjustment moving here?
Probably not the language, but like having to take care of myself like just by myself, and not having people here to like I don't know anybody more than a month. So it's hard to like not trust people, but to like talk to people about things I need to talk to them about. So sometimes it's just like, yeah, I have to keep going, and sometimes it's hard, yeah.
So obviously you're living with a host family?
Yeah.
So if you want to explain that dynamic a little bit?
Mm-hmm. I don't have a classical host family with like a children. I have, they found me a family like older 2 people with a grand piano, so I can practice in the afternoons and evenings.
How has making friends been here, and how have the kids been, and how's the community been?
I think people in America, like younger people especially, but all people are like more, they are not afraid to talk to other people, and they're more friendly at the first time, so it wasn't so hard. And I'm glad that like some people talked to me and I could talk to them, and they introduced me to their friends. So I've met some people. I was like scared. It was really like biggest change in my life, but still to like meet new people. But I think America is a good place for meeting new people because they're open about stuff, and yeah, it's easier in Czech Republic.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing while you're here that's not related to school? Like, are you planning on seeing anything or going anywhere?
Yeah, this is I think I'm a really good place to see New York and Philadelphia and maybe Washington. So I would like to visit these places in this year, yeah.
What would you say you're most excited for this year, living here?
Probably changing my environment, meeting new people, looking at the new school system in America and comparing it to the Czech school education system. Yeah.
Moving halfway around the world at such a young age by yourself is incredibly challenging to imagine, but Matej has given us a great insight into what that's like. So for Parkland TV and Film, I'm Hannah Frodrich.
Thanks, Hannah. News correspondent Ethan Silver is back with more news from the world of consumer tech.
Hey Parkland, I'm high school sophomore and diehard tech enthusiast Ethan Silver. This is October's Tech News. The first story comes from Microsoft, which thinks it can get you to upgrade from Windows 10. How? Well, to Windows 11, of course. Officially released to the public on October 5th, Windows 11 gives Windows 10 a fresh new coat of paint, including new animation, streamlined menus, and a more modern UI. More importantly, it introduces a redesigned Start menu and, get this, a centered taskbar. So, although not exactly groundbreaking, it's a refreshing change for Windows users everywhere. Next up is Apple, which held their Unleashed event on October 18th. They started off with announcing brand new AirPods, which are more like a cross between the older model and their more expensive counterpart, AirPods Pro. They'll feature spatial audio, better call quality, and a longer battery life. Unfortunately, they won't have noise cancellation, but they'll start at $180. That means that older AirPods start at $130. So if you're looking for a sweet new deal on headphones, now is the time to act. However, that's not all they showed off. We were finally shown a new generation of MacBook Pros equipped with the insanely powerful M1 Pro and M1 Max processors. The MacBooks have a better screen with mini LED, ProMotion, and is that a notch? Oh yeah. These Macs have a large notch at the top of the display. But fear not, Apple made up for it by bringing back the beloved row of function keys, an SD card reader, an HDMI port, and a MagSafe charging port. However, with the increase in ports, there is a significant increase in price, as the 14-inch model comes in at $2,000 and the 16-inch model starts at $2,500. All in all, Apple enthusiasts will definitely be excited for these new Macs. Google also had an event of their own that week. The tech giant finally announced the Google Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro, their answer to the new iPhones from last month. For the first time, Google has opted for their brand new custom-built Tensor chip and improved in all areas, from AI to photography to battery life. The phones are basically the one-stop shop for a clean Android experience, with the Pixel 6 starting at $599 and the Pixel 6 Pro starting at $899. Plus, Google even promises that its Titan M2 security chip will help with keeping your information safe and secure. Speaking of information, Facebook has been under a lot of scrutiny as of late. Let's rewind back to before October, where an anonymous whistleblower leaked tens of thousands of Facebook's internal documents, revealing studies showing algorithm shifts to promote high click-through rates and the harmful mental effects of using their platform for teens and young adults. Then, on October 3rd, the whistleblower revealed herself to the public in a 60 Minutes interview. The whistleblower was Frances Haugen, a 37-year-old former Facebook employee. Haugen accused Facebook of purposely ignoring and destroying civil integrity, harming the mental health of Instagram's users, and working in their own self-interest rather than the public's. Fighting for government action against Facebook and other companies in a similar position, she took her case to the Senate. So, Haugen testified to Congress on Tuesday, October 5th. The case resulted in a united attempt by the Senate to rein in Facebook's control, and lawmakers are currently investigating ways that algorithms can be altered to limit hate and misinformation. CEO Mark Zuckerberg did respond to this situation, but it's looking like Facebook might be held accountable nonetheless. Amid all the accusations, Facebook announced on Tuesday that it will be renaming the company. Well, more specifically, their parent company. The move is apparently to set the stage for their next big focus, the metaverse. No, not the multiverse, the metaverse. Basically, it's a virtual reality world like Ready Player One, and Facebook wants to be the leading player in that universe. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see where this metaverse takes us. And that's it for this month's tech news. We covered news from major tech giants like Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Facebook. We hope you enjoyed those 5 stories from the wondrous world of technology. I'm Ethan Silver, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, Ethan. News correspondent Eric Wood has hit the A-Wing to document how Parkland Theater is gearing up for Moana Jr.
Thanks, Ken. I'm news correspondent Eric Wood. Parkland High School hasn't performed a children's show in over a year. This year, they are coming back with a production of Moana Jr. I sat down with director Mrs. Ropash to talk about the upcoming performance.
Hello, my name is Miss Andrea Ropash, and I am the director and co-producer of Moana Jr. at Parkland High School. If you're familiar with the 2016 Disney movie Moana, it follows a very similar story, but we have our protagonist, Moana, and she has lived on this Pacific island her whole life. She is the daughter of the chief. She has found happiness there, her family is happy there, her people are happy there, but a Polynesian goddess has put a curse that has spread throughout the Pacific Islands, and her island has been threatened by this particular curse, so she needs to go elsewhere to find the solution to their problems. And we get to join her on that particular journey, and she meets some friends along the way in order to hopefully return back home victorious. So I love this show because it has a female lead, and she isn't a princess. She gets to be the chief, which, you know, I know some little girls want to be a princess and they get to wear like a fun dress and they get to meet Prince Charming, but Moana doesn't do that. And I know for some people that's a disappointment, but I kind of love that. I love that there's no real one way to be a hero. You know, she finds a different way to prove herself. And I like that it's not a love story, like she actually just gets to use the skills that she has to achieve her goals. And I think it's cool to just tell, I'm not saying there's anything right or wrong with princess stories, but it's cool to see a different version that doesn't have to end the same way that all the other ones do. So I actually just realized this, but when I was a senior in high school, I directed the children's show, and it's kind of like come full circle because now I get to direct it as an adult, which is a really cool experience for me to see what theater for, you know, the underclassmen looked like when I was here versus what it looks like now. It's still an amazing thing to be a part of. It's still great to see it. Like, Parkland High School Theater is amazing theater. We do great things here. I think we've always done great things here. It's great to be a part of it in this part of my life as well. But to see us going from something that, you know, we built only cardboard sets and, you know, just the costumes we could find or like had in our closets at home, to something that has really become, I think, a fixture in the community, especially for families that have young children, has been a really great experience. Theater was something that I really enjoyed doing in high school and is where I found my people, my friends, people that I still, you know, am friends with today. So knowing that I met a lot of those people here doing this experience, and it's something that has essentially become part of my career as an adult, and I get to keep doing theater, I get to still continue to like play in this space, it's great. It's definitely a large part of my life, essentially, yeah.
Be sure to see one of the performances on November 12th, 13th, or 14th. For more information about ticket sales, check out the arts page of the Parkland School District website. Over the course of the pandemic, live theater was forced to shut down for over a year. Now, with in-person theater making a comeback, there is a lot to be conscious of while making a COVID-safe environment.
So at rehearsal, we have to make much more of a conscious effort to socially distance. Masks are proving to be a real challenge that we've never had to consider before. If we are using cloth masks in particular scenes, we have to match them to their costumes. If we're using the clear masks that have been used previously in the fall play, it can cause a lot of issues with mics, especially with a musical, because you have to do much more projecting than you might have to in a regular stage play. So it's just made things a little bit more, there's just an extra step to everything, having to consider things that we've never had to consider before. And the stage crew, while they have some experience working with the clear masks from the fall play, now adding the musical element on top of that is just another step that needs to, another thing that needs to be considered in order to make it sound good. It feels great, it feels daunting, but it also feels very exciting. This is my first time directing a musical, so there are times that I feel overwhelmed, but it is a very excited version of overwhelmed. Sometimes it's very stressful, but when I get to see the kids that are on stage and they get to be with each other and how much fun they're having and how very, very quickly this cast has become friends with one another, it makes it all worth it. It makes me happy. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a part of the theater department that we have here at the school, and I'm glad that we're a school that is bringing back live theater. Live theater is always exciting, so to see that it went away for a little bit, I think sometimes we take for granted what it means to be busy and what it means to have things going on in our lives. So it was kind of nice having a little break from live theater, but now coming back to a place where, now we've missed it, and I think it really means that we've things are different now, we've definitely found a way to get things back to the way that they were, to make things work, to kind of persevere and to find a way to get that back. So I think this means good things for us, and I'm excited.
With the break from live theater comes many challenges, but the cast and crew are ready to face these challenges and put on the show. From Parkland TV, I'm Eric Wood. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Eric. We now bring you news correspondents Claudia Salvino and Sarah Abdel-Karim as they go head-to-head in a pumpkin carving competition.
Hi, I'm Claudia Salvino.
And I'm Sarah Abdel-Karim.
And since it's the fall season and pumpkins are basically the symbol of fall, we are going to be carving them for you. Okay, so first we're going to start by washing our pumpkins because they're really dirty.
Yes, you're getting it all over the kitchen.
I'm getting it all over my kitchen floor. Sarah already showed me what her pumpkin will look like. She doesn't know what mine's gonna look like, so it could be like out of this world, and it
can't be better than mine.
Step 1 in carving your pumpkin. Cut a hole at the top. Okay, now let's get to scooping before we start carving.
Yes,
How do people scoop pumpkins? How do you not get grossed out? We are going to start carving, but it's going to be a bit different. We are going to time ourselves, see if we can carve our designs in under 15 minutes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 15 minutes, and that's starting now.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
I don't know, I don't think they're ready for mine.
What's your favorite Halloween tradition, Sarah?
Probably trick-or-treating.
Ooh. But you said you don't eat candy.
Because it doesn't make it taste like candy. I always give it to my mom right after.
Oh, that's nice.
And my mom will just devour it.
Okay, I got 2 things done.
I'm still struggling to get the first thing done.
Sarah, what's your favorite Halloween snack?
So probably when, have you ever had like caramelized popcorn?
Oh,
or s'mores?
Always. I love that.
What first comes to your mind when you think of Halloween?
Probably like clowns, ghost maybe. I mean, it depends. Something like scary. Like clowns aren't that scary when you think about it, right? I don't think they're scary. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
Probably Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Because I honestly think it's a Christmas movie.
There's this conspiracy theory out. Well, I think it's both. Jack, the like skeleton king guy, that he was originally the Grinch, like before, like after he died.
What?
Because he's like rediscovering like Christmas for the first time.
What fall holiday do you think is better? Halloween or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is just a pre-Christmas dinner, so probably Halloween. Because when everyone thinks of Thanksgiving, they just straight up think of Christmas.
Oh, we only have 4 minutes left?
4 minutes?
How?
Oh my god, yours compared to mine.
It's not bad. I actually like yours. You're just kind of cute.
No, it doesn't look as bad. It doesn't look as good as a picture because like I'm struggling right now.
You're having a hard time. Do you like pumpkin spice lattes?
Yes, of course.
Is Bigfoot real?
I don't know if I should say yes or no for that one. Cause like, maybe he is real. I guess yeah, he probably is real. I would need to see proof though.
I made my pumpkin look scared, but scary. If you know what I mean. I think we all know who won.
Oh my. Claudia, look at yours compared to mine.
I think it's pretty. You took the cute road, I took the scary haunt you in your sleep road. I think we were both winners in this, in that we actually carved a pumpkin in under 15 minutes. This is a nice looking pumpkin. Okay guys, so here are our pumpkins. They are officially done. What are you gonna do when your pumpkin starts to mold and decay? You're gonna cut up your pumpkin, take pieces without seeds. Make sure there are no seeds on the pumpkin that you cut up, and put them into a composting bin. I'm Claudia Salvino.
I'm Sarah Del Cream.
This is Lil John.
And this is Big Henry.
This was pumpkin carving.
Have a great day, Parkland.
Thanks, Claudia and Sarah. That's all we have for tonight's episode. Make sure to tune in next month to episode 3 of Parkland Profile. I'm Ken Carpenetti.